Donald Trump just gave his first interview since the debate, and he strategically chose to do it with Sean Hannity from Fox News so he wouldn't be confronted on the amount of times he lied during the debate. But as usual, Trump spent the interview using extremist, apocalyptic rhetoric, saying we won't have a country anymore if Biden wins. He used dehumanizing language towards immigrants. He used those same vacuous slogans that he always wheels out. Sean Hannity first asked him what was going through your mind on the debate stage, and Donald Trump gave an incoherent answer about energy. Watch.
His voice was raspy, but beyond that, within minutes, I could tell this was not going to be a good night for Joe Biden. What was going through your head at that time?
Well, it was a big evening, and you could feel a lot of energy. Boy, energy like you haven't felt in a long time. On any of the debates, I've done a lot of debates, and we've had great success with debates, but this was something very special. For whatever reason, it just seemed big.
Trump said there was energy like you haven't felt in a long time, and everything was so big. It's almost like he can't even comprehend these questions, so he just defaults back to these salesman tactics and claiming that everything is so big. But then Trump says that CNN's Dana Bash and Jake Tapper actually did a decent job, which I think is more of an indictment on CNN's lack of fact-checking. Watch.
Week. I didn't know exactly what was happening. It was strange. I do have to say that the CNN, Jake and Dana, were really, they were pretty good. They were. I thought they were fair. I thought they were fair in the questions. I thought to him, to me. But
I don't know if that's the compliment that CNN needs right now, but keep in mind they have been disproportionately covering President Biden's debate performance and failing to call out Donald Trump's lies after the fact, just like they failed to call out his lies during the debate. And Donald Trump and his MAGA fan base will immediately dismiss media as fake news when they don't even watch those media sources, but as soon as CNN fails to fact check him, all of a sudden he thinks they're surprisingly factual. But Donald Trump then went on to detail how he's 100% certain that there will be a terrorist attack under President Biden. He almost can't even hide how much he wants there to be a terrorist attack so that it reflects poorly on President Biden. Watch this clip.
Well, the one thing you haven't said tonight that you always say is that it's 100% certain that we're going to have a terror attack, and I agree with you on that. It's 100% certain. I mean, we're letting terrorists into our...
I pray I'm wrong. I pray
we're letting
to God
terrorists
I'm wrong.
into our country at a level that we've never seen before.
And this is a constant pattern that we've seen from people like Donald Trump and Sean Hannity, almost cheering a terrorist attack on so that it reflects poorly on President Biden. That is called stochastic terrorism. Watch this clip of Sean Hannity and Ted Cruz almost getting excited about the idea of a terrorist attack happening.
One of those terrorist cells, which I'm pretty certain are here. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
They are.
When
They tragically are. And the
terrorism,
FBI is telling us they're here.
So it's a matter of when, not if.
Yes.
And how sad is
Tragically,
that?
yes.
Yeah, well, there'll be a lot of dead Americans, and they'll have blood on their hands. And you know what? It's unforgivable. It's a clear and present danger, and it's unnecessary. Senator Cruz, thank you. When we come
For somebody who claims to love America so much, Sean Hannity will not stop talking about dead Americans when we have no proof of terrorists coming over the border as they claim. And this is all to lay the groundwork for Donald Trump's plan to deport 11 million immigrants. But this plan is impossible for a few reasons. First of all, how do you deport 11 million people in a non-violent way? Number two, how do you deport 11 million people without accidentally deporting American citizens? Number three, that would absolutely tank our economy. It would be disastrous to deport 11 million workers. Number four, it's just inhumane. Why would you deport 11 million people who came here for a better life? But Donald Trump's entire brand is being inhumane. Watch this clip of him again echoing the rhetoric of Hitler by saying that immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country.
They're coming in from prisons and jails from all over the world, not just South America. They're coming in from the Congo and Africa. They're coming in from every part of the world, and some of these parts are rough parts of the world, and they're pouring into our country as prisoners, as mental patients. They're coming into our country, and they're coming in also as terrorists, and this is poisoning our country.
Donald Trump then said that Jimmy Carter is the happiest man around, but keep in mind, Jimmy Carter is currently in hospice.
And by the way, Jimmy Carter's the happiest guy around because Jimmy Carter now is saying, you know, I mean, he was like a genius compared to what Biden is. His administration was brilliant compared to the Biden administration. So it's a very, very sad time in our country.
Let me ask about...
Donald Trump then just continues to whine about how he's being unfairly targeted and persecuted by the Biden administration, where somehow Biden is this senile old man who can't do anything right, but at the same time, he's also targeting Donald Trump and prosecuting him without leaving a trace. Donald Trump also rants about a potential World War III, but Trump was the one who lost us respect from allies across the globe. Donald Trump is the one who would negotiate with Vladimir Putin and in the process just cede Ukrainian land. But watch this clip.
No wars. I mean, I had no wars. We're heading into World War III, in my opinion, with this man semi-running things, because he's not running things. The people that surround the Oval Office, the people that surround the Resolute desk, the beautiful Resolute desk, they're really running things in Washington, I suspect, and it's very bad. And, you know, he got them into the warfare and lawfare. Many different terms you can use, but basically going after your political opponent, using the Justice Department, using local DAs, using local attorney generals, going after your political opponent. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. And, you know, there are those. I just read an article that it's been a positive for me, but it's not a positive. It's very unfair. It's fighting an unfair battle.
Trump then continues rambling like a madman about 4 different topics at once, claiming it is a very sad time for our country, and it is, but not for the reasons that Donald Trump thinks. It's a very sad time because the Supreme Court of the United States is now running defense for Donald Trump and saying that a lot of the stuff that he did while he was in office was an official act. It's a sad time for our country because a convicted felon who tried to subvert the will of the American people is currently the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party, and no one on that side is even blinking an eye. But watch the rest of Trump's rant.
And all these lawsuits you see and everything else, that's all Biden-inspired, meaning Biden people inspired. And it's very sad. I think it's a very sad time for our country. We're not respected anywhere in the world. He's not respected. And our country's in very serious trouble. And I'll tell you what, if we're not careful, we're going to be right in the middle of World War III, and that will be a war like nobody's seen before because of the weaponry. The weaponry is a whole lot different than 2 army tanks going up against each other. This is a whole different world, and we don't have somebody that can properly represent us. There's no question about that.
A war like nobody's ever seen before. If you also can't stand the way that Trump speaks, make sure you leave a like on this video. But Donald Trump spent the last minute ranting about how Joe Biden is going to get us into World War III, and at the same time he was ranting about how he's the victim of the justice system. He will have 3 rants going on at once, and none of them make sense. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe to MeidasTouch, get us to 3 million YouTube subscribers. Go visit my personal channel in the description below at Adam Mockler. Get me to 300,000 YouTube subscribers, and I'll see you next time.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.